Good evening, everyone. I want to welcome you to the Vespers service here on site at the Unitarian Universalist Congregation of Northern Chautauqua, here at 222 Temple Street in the little village of Fredonia on the shores of Lake Erie. We are so glad you are joining us, and we are so grateful to be in this building, masked and distanced and vaccinated. It is our hope that this little service this evening celebrates the moment when transition from, not only the moment that transition from daytime into evening comes, but also the transition for our world, that our hopes and dreams, our work on behalf of all those beings on this planet, in this world, in every country, every child, every ocean, every rock, tree, and grain of sand, feel what it is that you are born to do, and that may be a blessing to the world. Our Vesper service is a moment, just an offering of a moment to stop, a rare pause, to halt all other activities, and with the setting of the sun, reflect upon this day and ponder, what is it we are thankful for? For at this liminal time between sunlight of day and the dark of night rests a brief moment called twilight, eventide, evensong. In 2 days, we'll gather for the annual Feast of Harvest to focus on the gratitude that we have for what we share in this homeland place called Earth. The spirit of thanksgiving or giving thanks is as old as humanity, is at the heart of all true religiousness. Such thankfulness is the wellspring of all true worship, for to worship is to respond with overflowing gladness to the mystery of the living and breathing that beats upon our consciousness every moment that we exist. Formalized as the central part of every religion known to earth, the rejoicing and giving of thanks is well known by every faith tradition. For the ancient Hindus, known as Diwali, and is still today, the Feast of Lights. The same for the Feast of Ramadan, for Muslims, and for the Jews, the Feast of Sukkot. The stern faith of our religious forebears, which they were very stern, as well as many customs and modes of living, have been modified by a changing world over the centuries, and some progress has been made to correct the colonialist story of the first Thanksgiving we were taught as children, and yet much remains to be uncovered and reconciled. The offering of thanks often is and ought to be a deeply personal act, a delicate and private gesture which may often take the form of deeds as well as words. When this happens, the giving of thanks becomes one of the most fundamental and spontaneous human deeds, the giving of goodness to one another. Giving is a holy act. What we give to the world, here, or any place else is the only true measure of our worth in the world. I want to say that again. What we give to the world, here, or any place else, is the only true measure of our worth to the world. A healthy child, a creative idea, a kindness that eases someone's pain, in such gifts rests our true worth and the seeds of our immortality. All else, what we get through accidents of fortune or acquisitiveness, is irrelevant and of no significance. And thus it is in this manner we humbly acknowledge that the land on which we gather this evening is the ancestral home of the indigenous peoples known as the Haudenosaunee. We also acknowledge that we continue to benefit from that legacy of colonialism. Tonight, during this season of giving thanks, we recognize these acts of theft, and we commit to the work that leads toward truth-telling and reconciliation and healing. Let there be light. Light, light, light. What dispels the dark that shines in the eyes of children, that shimmers and dances on the crests of waves, that coaxes life out of the dead earth, that guides the seeker through the densities of night. Leanna will light our chalice and then continue with a reading.
Harvest Invocation. We who rarely go hungry sometimes take food for granted. It's just there, waiting for us when we get to the table. It's just there, waiting for us in endless abundance, arranged neatly and attractively on the shelves of our supermarkets. We forget that no matter how many farmers and harvesters, millers and processors and bakers and vendors put their mark on it in between, all food comes from the land and the sea. And so this evening, we stop for a moment and pay attention. We stop in the middle of all our thoughtless hurrying and take time to feel the connection between our bodies and the earth that nourishes us. And we prepare ourselves for the thanksgiving of heart, mind, and spirit.
A little prayer this evening, and it will be followed by a period of meditation as we listen to the beautiful music shared with us this evening by Kay and Cheryl. Infinite Spirit of all, source of all created things, we would give substance to our thankfulness by resolving to make use, right use, of the gifts we've received from your bounty. For the gifts of the senses, we would fashion and preserve a world of beauty for all. With the gift of reason, we would engage in a responsible search for truth. With the gift of compassion, we would build a world of justice and mercy. And with thy gift of being, we would walk together in peace. Thus, in gratitude, may we become faithful servants of thy glorious, ongoing creation. Amen.
Elemental. In the evening, you are air, deep breaths that free you from the earthly day, wind that travels through the night, through all worlds, currents starting in the mind and ending in the morning, where you are water. Seeking water, parched lips and dry throat, with hot streams of wetness, streaming eyes and steaming mirrors, bring you nearer to the earth, where you labor, toil, and struggle, slip through another hour, push through another day, steady, aiming for the evening air, to free you, feed you, and remind you that in the loving you are fire. Any love that it may be, you bring warmth, light, and healing to the day, the light, the truth, to the night, the warmth of trust, and in the dew, the healing touch, and to the love, the fire that is you brings hope to hearts untrue and seeds the world anew.
Oh, my heart. Wondering for all of you and all of us here, how much we've acknowledged the big things going on in the world right now, some very sad and tragic news, decisions made that hurt our hearts and hurt those who've done nothing to deserve such pain. May we be inspired with gratitude for the wondrous gifts that are ours and be filled with the resolve to share them with all who are in need. May we hold precious to one another in the world that which provides us with sustenance and beauty. And may a song of thanksgiving be on our lips to the Creator and Sustainer of life and to all that is. For all of this and for one another, we say, thank you. Blessed be. Amen. Ashe.